Adoring Scholars. Here it is, Miss Maslin, for day 9 of your packet. I'm going to start going through it. As always, we start with our assignments review, and this is the math and science, so I'm going to skip the reading and writing for this video, and I'm going to go straight to the math, which is 3 pages in your math. And then in your science, you're going to graph the weather, and you're going to draw, label, and write. Let's start with our math packet. So as always, we're starting with the count forward and count back. So remember, when we count forward, we put the number in our head and we count on. This one wants us to count on 4. So the next number after your number of the day, which is 40, would be 40, 41. If I was counting, and then I would continue to count on the rest of the numbers. I can also do that, remember, for counting backwards. I can put 40 in my head, and the number before 40 is 39. And then I can continue to count backwards. Then it wants you to find and circle the number 40. Under below where you see that big green grid, it wants you to use the number line to practice subtraction. Just like putting the number in our head is where we find the number, and whether we count forward or we count backward, it works the same way as doing that. So you're going to start at that number, and this one shows you to start at number 7 and count back 2. So if you notice, it started at number 7 and it counted back 2, and you see it landed on number 4. Okay. Then it wants you on the next page to use the number line to practice your subtraction. Now I know we're not used to seeing the numbers this way, but you can rewrite it the other way if you would like, but it is the same as if we were to write it the other way. I know some of you are having a little issue with that, and it wants you to try that independently on your own. If you notice, the first one is done for you. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I put my pencil on the 4 and I would count backwards 1, and I would land on 3. For number 9 down there with the girl talking, she wants you to figure out the story problem and then to draw a picture. Now remember, when we draw a picture, we don't want flowers and pencils and all that. We want to see it math related. So we want to see those number bonds, those make 10 strategies or break 10. We want to see 10 frames. Those are things that we want to see. You can also group 5s or make a double. So think of all the strategies and think of a way you can show your work. All right, your last page with the reasoning page is more of the story problems and more of showing your work. Underneath that dotted line, it wants you to use a subtraction with a 10 frame. So you want to fill it in and then take it out. Okay, circle to show that it went away. Since I reviewed the math packet, I'm going to put a check there. You're not going to put your check until you finish all 3 pages. I also added the number line on the top of this to help you if you need it. I'm going to move on to our spring. Let me go back because I forgot to go over what it wants us to do. Check and graph the weather in your science journal. And then to draw, label, and write. Okay. So in our spring science journal, you're going to go to your spring science journal. We're going to go back to that graph that weather graph that you've been filling out. I noticed that yesterday I talked about a double. So I'm going to talk about my double instead of making my 5 today. So in my double, I noticed that I have 3 in my sunny column and I have 1 in my windy, and I know 3 and 1 more make 4. So that's a 4. I'm noticing that I can make another 4. I wonder if you notice that too, with the 2 partly sunny and the 2 rainy, and I can make another 4. So I know that 4 and 4 is 8. I also, if I didn't know that 4 plus 4 is 8, I could also figure it that we know that 5 plus 5 is 10, and 2 less would be 8. So I'm going to add 1 into the sunny, to the, where did I add it? To the sunny column, because I noticed that there's only 1 or 2 clouds out in the sky today, so I added it to the sunny column. So now I have 9 altogether, because 8 and 1 more is 9. Then it wants you to, in your science journal, this is still in your science journal, it wants you to draw and write about how you are dressed differently than you were before. If you notice that there is one box that is labeled winter and one box that is labeled spring, and then down below it wants you to write in winter. So tell me something how you might dress in winter. And then how is that different than spring? So I can't say in winter I wear a jacket, in spring I wear a jacket, because that would be the same. So think of something, 2 different things that you wear in winter and in spring. I can't wait to see all of these. That finishes your science. So I'm going to put a check because we did check and graph the weather. And I'm going to put a check because we did talk about dressing, how you dress. And that means if you have finished your reading and writing, then you are done for the day, and enjoy your day, the rest of your day. If not, head over and watch the reading and writing. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.